everyone, this is Archive 12, and today we have a new Sung Jin Woo rap, or song, excuse me, Sung Jin Woo song from Johnald called Dismiss the System. Now, I still haven't seen Solo Leveling. It's probably going to be an anime that I react to over on my Patreon eventually, but I have obviously listened to a lot of different nerdcore songs, including Fable, DPS, who's done like 3 of them, Divide Music, and Rustage, to name, I think that might be it. Maybe I listened to a Schwabity song. I don't remember, but like I've heard a lot of Sung Jin Woo songs, and I've seen a lot of the stuff that gets played in the AMVs. So like I know visuals without context, and because of that, I have a distinct impression that while I may not necessarily understand the specific context, the lyrics oftentimes tell me enough of the story for me to understand what's going on. I know that this is an isekai. I know that the main character has to struggle a lot and gets hurt a lot based on the visuals. I think he even, because it's like based on a video game type isekai, then that he even ends up reincarnating a couple times and gets stronger and stronger and stronger until he's basically, you know, the god of this particular anime. Beyond that, though, I know nothing. So I'm going into this mostly blind to the context, but that's okay. Some of the best songs that I've reacted to, I have no context for, but that doesn't diminish the music. Link will be in the description below if you want to watch this without my commentary, because we'll be pausing and we'll be talking about it. And alongside that, you'll also find my link tree and my Patreon link, where you can find longer form reaction videos to various animes, including this one eventually, including Solo Leveling. But without further ado, let's get started.
I wish I had my moments waiting, but I was never born to taste them. I already chose my fate, but I'm not ready to die. And now for the first time I feel alive. I'm free in my own demise. In face of dark, then divine intervention guides my direction, and it's telling me
I feel like we're about to get into the chorus. This first 35 seconds, this verse here, I want to say that I really enjoy how confident Johnald is making Sung Jin Woo with this. The fact that he almost feels apathetic, and because of that, that makes him dangerous. Like, he's gotten comfortable with dying over and over again. He's gotten comfortable with his own demise, as he said. He doesn't care as much about whether or not he's going to be in pain. He doesn't care about whether or not he's going to suffer. The only thing he cares about is getting stronger, and defeating whatever task happens to be in front of him. I like the way that he's decided to describe that, and the way that he's singing about it. It feels very like solidly, I don't know what word I want to describe it as. Solidly ingrained in Sung Jin Woo's mentality, I think is the best way to put it. He feels very confident that no matter what's going to happen, no matter what he goes through, he's going to come out on top. And I like how it's not impassioned either. The way that Johnald is singing about this is very monotone. It's like some of the lyrics in a certain context might be described as being like almost desperate, but other times, with the same measured level tone in his voice, the next line feels confident, and a couple of times even cocky. So I feel like that's based on what I know about Sung Jin Woo, that feels somewhat accurate, and I appreciate the fact that that Johnald has managed to capture that in his vocal performance and the lyrics.
when the kings are overthrown. Will I fail to rewrite the code, or will I embrace that road alone? 'Cause there's
okay, before we get to that second verse, that chorus like continued that, but obviously ramped things up. The energy changed with the chorus. The energy got more passionate and more personal. Um, and I feel like that really was indicative of the evolution that Sung Jin Woo had, going from like the very beginning of the anime, where I assume that he was, I'm not gonna say nihilistic. Like I said, I haven't seen the anime, so I don't know for sure. But like the way that it felt, that Johnald was singing, felt, it was almost like he didn't care whether or not he lived or died. Now it feels like he may not care, but he knows that he's still going to achieve his goal. Like he's confident enough in his ability to be able to push forward and actually like overcome whatever might be presented to him. And again, I feel like just the way that Johnald sang it, where there wasn't a whole lot of, there was more energy than the original verse, but it wasn't overly done. It wasn't overconfident, although I imagine that Sung Jin Woo probably could be described as overconfident. Though then again, that's relative. If you know you've got the ability to stop somebody, is it really overconfidence, or is that just stating facts? I feel like at that point, once Sung Jin Woo gets to a certain point, that overconfidence is just stating facts. He becomes overpowered and he knows it's almost like Overlord, almost, where like Eins Ul Gon, he feels overconfident, but he also knows that the only people that could truly stop him are the people that are standing by his side. Otherwise, there's nobody in the world that he's living in that can really stop him. So at that point, is it really overconfidence if the only people that could stand up to him are his subjects, and his subjects love him unconditionally? Like, that doesn't feel like it's overconfident. That feels like it's right there. We're like, yeah, no, I know what I'm capable of. I feel like Sung Jin Woo is one of those characters where like he knows what he's capable of. He knows that there aren't going to be very many people that can push his boundaries. And if they can, he's only going to get stronger because of it. I could be misreading that because, again, haven't seen Solo Leveling. But I feel that's the vibe that I've always gotten from the Sung Jin Woo character in the songs, is that he knows at the end of the day, no matter what happens, he's going to come out on top. It's inevitable. It's just a matter of how and when, and how easy or difficult will it be. But like at the end of the day, he knows he's going to rise to the occasion, or arise to the occasion, as it is, as it were.
In their hollow eyes, they don't know, even I'm afraid of what I've become. My senses going numb, and now the body's dropped to the beat of the drum. There's a glitch in my head that's telling me this all could all be a rush. When the kings are overthrown, will I fail to rewrite the code, or will I embrace that road alone? 'Cause there's a part of me dying now. Don't you run away from the path that you chose. Can't resist the sense you put before. Don't you run away, run the past and let go. I can't dismiss the system anymore.
Ooh, I like the change. Before we get into that change, however, one thing that like I noticed with the end of that second verse leading into the second chorus was that he mentioned something about a glitch telling him in his head that everything could be his. That kind of sort of reminds me of what's the AI's name in Reincarnated as a Slime? Raphael, I think. I don't remember what the name of the AI administrator being that's talking to Rimuru is, but like that's what that reminded me of, was like the AI from Reincarnated as a Slime talking to Rimuru. I'm wondering if it's something similar to that. Like I said, haven't seen Solo Leveling. Don't give me spoilers. Don't have to tell me if I'm right or wrong. I'd prefer not to know because I will watch it eventually. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. But I'm just stating that that's what that line kind of like called back to me on. Probably wrong, but the tone switched. Even with the increased intensity, that still kept it pretty measured and even. Like, obviously, it definitely stepped things up a notch, but at the end of the day, at the end of that section, it was still consistently like it still felt consistently like dispassioned and very measured and even, just with like screamo vocals. That that was an interesting vibe. That section there, that was a very curious thing. I like it. I like it a lot. Johnald is excellent at being able to do that though. Like, I feel like that's not the first time he's done that in a song, whether it be as a feature or his own music. I feel like that's not the actually, excuse me. I think forgive me. I think Johnald goes by they them. So I apologize. I think I've said that a couple of times. My apologies. I'm not thinking properly. Johnald, they have done that before in other songs, and I find it interesting, and I find it curious, and I find that very. I guess it's different. Like when you compare how Fable does it, Fable when he puts that passion in there, regardless of who he's singing about, you can feel Fable's passion. The thing that I liked about this was that Johnald, they put that passion in there from themselves, but in the context of Sung Jin Woo, you didn't catch that. Like, it didn't feel like passionate to Sung Jin Woo. It felt passionate to Johnald, but not to Sung Jin Woo. So I like that because it stayed true to the character and singing from the character's perspective, while also allowing the artist to really experiment with a vocal performance that they hadn't done previously in the song. And I don't know, that was interesting. That was a very curious sensation that I got, how my brain was interpreting that in two different ways.
When the kings are overthrown, will I dare to rewrite the code? Or will I embrace that road alone? 'Cause there's a part of me dying to know. Don't you run away from the path that you chose. Resistance into blood before. Don't you run away, run the past and let go. Can't dismiss the system. Can't dismiss the system. I can't dismiss the system. Part of me's dying to know. When you take on the challenge and grow, forsaking the pressure alone.
Wow. Okay. That was kind of nuts. So one thing that I kind of noticed was that the the way that that ending progressed was actually rather shocking. The it's hard to really formulate what I'm trying to get at. Um like the rest of the song, even during that screamo bit, like whether you want to call it like a bridge or the third verse or whatever, um, it still felt like Sung Jin Woo didn't really care that much, even though Johnald was putting more of their emphasis and voice and power and energy into the lyrics. But that ending, that threw that right out the window. Everything amped up to 11 there. Like, you got the passion, you got the power, you got the intensity, you got anger, you got rage, you got frustration, you got a little bit of panic. Like, everything in that last, all that emotion that was like almost lacking from Sung Jin Woo throughout most of the rest of the song, all culminated and exploded at that end there. And then just having the song drop out like that, just ending it, just boom, nothing. There's no fade out. There's no like there's no like definitive ending. It just stops. That was wild. That was an experience. Interesting and curious and just wow. I don't know what else to say about that except that really that took me by surprise. Just a teensy tiny little bit. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you for joining me. I am Markov at 12, and I will see you in the next video.